Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 481. I'm Phil Graham. We're at the end of July 28th. I hope you're having a great July and a great summer. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Facebook ad account cleanup that I do before spending another dollar. And I'd recommend you guys, a lot of you guys do as well. You know, sometimes the smartest move in an ad account is not just launching something new. It might be cleaning up or fixing either something that's already there or a technical issue or something like that. It might be decluttering things. There's a lot of important things that can make a difference. So today I'm going to walk you guys through the ad account cleanup I consider before spending more money on ads. So I hope you guys are doing phenomenally well. Before we jump into the content, if you guys are looking for some help with your ads, just go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com. Or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. We can connect on a quick Zoom call, whether you're looking for one-on-one consulting or some done-for-you ads or AI. But I want to jump right in and keep this episode short, sweet, full of value, and of course, very actionable. So before spending another dollar on the ads, here's what I look at, because sometimes these things can make a big difference. Number one, I go and do an ad account cleanup and I look at what I would call campaign clutter. There's a lot of accounts that I see, and I see it all because I've seen so many ad accounts. Some of them have years and years and years of stuff sitting there. Some of them were tests. Some things were seasonal, a bunch of things that were duplicated or copied. I've seen abandoned ads. I've seen just clutter everywhere. And so that can make it really hard sometimes to really judge what's going on if you have all that clutter. There are ways to hide it. There are ways to get rid of it. Now, I would not delete all that stuff because you want to preserve the data, although you could download it and preserve it and then delete it if you wanted to. But I typically don't delete it. I do download it, but then I will hide it. And, even just having the view of just what's running right now, for example, can be super helpful. But just kind of going in and looking at what's there and how can you declutter your campaigns? Super important. The next thing, this is one of the most important things, and I see it happen with so many advertisers, naming conventions that are confusing for campaigns, ad sets, and ads. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see advertisers make, where they will either have confusing names or generic names. That is not good, because when you're analyzing data, you need to be able to see exactly what you're looking at and know exactly what that is, even just from the name. And you need to know what you're comparing it against too. And so many times I'll be on a call with somebody like a new client, and we'll be looking at something in the ads manager. And I'll say, before we click into this ad set, tell me what it is. Who are you targeting? What the creative is? What are you testing against? And probably 95 times out of 100, they're like, well, I don't know. I have to click and find out. That's not good, because you could actually know if you named it in a much more effective way. So how I like to name things, and it does depend on accounts and, different things, but in general, my campaign name is kind of like the overall thing. It could be what we're promoting, like the product or service. It could be an area that we're targeting. If we just have one thing that we sell, it could be any number of things, but it's more of a high level overview of what we're doing. And then the ad set name includes the campaign name in it, but then I also add who the audience is in the ad set name and also what the creative is. And yes, there's many times we may need to click in for more info, but there's so much time that you can save by naming things correctly. And sometimes you can put the date on them too, like you name it however you want. Make it most effective for how your brain works. But put some good information in the name of your campaign, your ad set, and your ads. Another thing you want to look for to declutter your campaign and ads manager is look for a bunch of old stuff. You may have tried things a different way a number of years ago. You might have some old audiences, some old tests that you've ran, and they might be really old. And maybe you can put an asterisk next to them or some kind of naming convention just so that they either are out of the way or it's just easily seen that, oh, yeah, this was like the old way of doing things. I still might want to refer back to this at some point, but I don't really want to pay attention to it right now. So you're still going to keep it, but you're going to kind of label it differently so it doesn't blend in with the stuff you're doing right now. And I think that's really important. And then another thing that I do is I review tracking before making any other ads or strategy decisions. So, and this is just like if you haven't done this in a long time, check your pixel status, make sure it's working correctly. Check to make sure you're getting conversion events. Make sure that your CRM, if you have one that's connected, is tracking properly, stuff like that. It's not like you have to do that all the time, but so many advertisers have not done that for a long time. And I think that makes a big difference because sometimes you will catch and find things that you did not realize. Those things might help you solve a problem, fix something that you didn't know was broken that could be negatively affecting your ads. So that's always important. And if everything works, then you have that peace of mind that you check that box off, and that's great too. And then second to last, I like to build a clean reporting view on the stats in Ads Manager. So hopefully you guys already have this, but if not, I look and just see what ads are active. I can have that be my default view even. You can save a preset for that. Also, I've got a default view that might include return on ad spend, average conversion value, and other types of things that might not be in the normal default view. So I have exactly what I want showing up. So I don't have to change it or adjust it every time I load the ad account. And then you can save that as a preset. And then lastly, one little word of warning, don't confuse this cleanup that I'm talking about with constant tinkering. It doesn't mean you always have to have things perfect. And if there's one thing out of place or something, it's bad. Just every once in a while, maybe every quarter or every 6 months or every year, kind of go through this process before you run another ad and check all these things, clean things up, and clean them up how you want them and set them up how you want them. Everybody's a little bit different. But I think these things can make a big difference. For me, it helps me stay more focused. I can make better decisions. There's less chaos. There's less clutter. And I can focus on the things that matter, which makes me a lot better at what I do. And I think for most people, that would probably be true as well. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So I hope that was helpful, my friends. Episode 481 is in the books. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website. Otherwise, I'll talk to you on next week's episode. Have a great week. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.